Mary runs a wedding planning company. She arrives at her office early in the morning. Oh no! Someone stole the entire supply of expensive sun-dried tomatoes prepared for the upcoming party.
Oh no.
Mary closed her office at 10 p.m. last night and the snacks were right there. She calls the police. The detective identifies 3 suspects and visits their houses. The guard was on duty last night. He assumes that the thief could have sneaked into the office while he was on another floor. According to the cleaning lady, she's allergic to tomatoes, and she can't even cook them. And a hairdresser who works nearby claims that she closed her salon at 8 p.m. last night and went home right after that. Who's lying? The cleaning lady. She has a tomato plant in a pot on her windowsill, so she lied about her allergy.
Oh.
Meet Mary's 2 wedding planners, Holly and Dolly. Holly is super rich, while Dolly is very broke. Can you tell who is who just by looking at this picture? Take a look at the lady on the left. There's a lot of junk food in her fridge. Meanwhile, the one on the right has less food, but it's healthy and expensive. She chooses quality over quantity, so she must be a Holly. And the other one is Dolly.
Oh.
Mary is scrolling her social media and comes across these 2 pictures. One of these families are billionaires. Can you guess who? Each member of the first family has their own Christmas stocking, and they have a nice fireplace. The second family, though, has only 2 stockings, and their fireplace is fake. So the first family is rich.
Oh.
Mary is looking through some photos of wedding parties. Can you tell which newlyweds are broke? The second picture depicts some silky bows and expensive snacks. So the first couple is broke. They use cheap snacks and handmade garland for their wedding party.
Oh.
Take a look at these 2 wedding pictures of Mary's recent clients. One of these couples is very rich. Can you guess which one? The first couple rented their outfits. That's why the sizes don't quite suit them.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the second couple's outfits are more casual, but they're neat and expensive. Mary is visiting an expensive clothing store. She witnesses the following scene. One of these customers is broke, while the other one is a millionaire. Can you tell who is who? The first guy is broke. That's why he hesitates and feels shy while asking about this expensive t-shirt. Meanwhile, the rich guy feels free to ask questions about prices because he can afford everything. But he still wants to know why it costs so much. Reasonable.
Oh my god.
Mary is having lunch at her favorite diner. At the next table, she spots 2 pretty ladies. One of them is super rich. Can you figure out who? The blonde lady has an old smartphone with 1 camera. Meanwhile, the redhead has the latest phone, so she's the rich one.
Oh, yes.
Mary leaves the diner and comes across these guys on the street. One of them is just pretending to be broke. Can you guess who? It's this guy. He's wearing an expensive smartwatch. Mary enters a supermarket. 3 pregnant women are standing in the line. Can you figure out who's super rich? The first lady is very pregnant, but she keeps on working, which probably means that she needs the money. And the third one has too many credit cards and coupons. So the second lady, who has a bunch of organic products in her cart, is the one we're looking for. Mary is walking around the city and comes across an open-air concert. One of these musicians is a secret millionaire. Any idea who? This lady. She's wearing diamonds under her simple outfit.
Oh, yeah.
Mary brings a box of chocolates to the office to treat her coworkers. The box had 57 chocolates, out of which all but 17 were eaten. How many chocolates are now in that box? To solve this mystery, we should read the question carefully. The phrase, all but 17 were eaten, means that all except 17 were eaten. Therefore, 17 chocolates remain in the box. Mary attends a luxurious wedding ceremony. She meets these two guys in the parking lot. Can you guess who is a millionaire? This guy is a taxi driver, while the second one owns a sports car. So he's a millionaire.
Ah.
Mary enters the party. She goes to the bathroom and sees two ladies applying makeup. Can you figure out whose husband is richer? The woman on the right is using fake Gucci makeup. Therefore, the one on the left must have a richer husband.
Oh my God.
Mary takes a seat next to three guys. They want to impress her and start bragging about their money. Richard has just closed a six-figure deal, so he's planning to buy a new penthouse. Harold has just returned from a round-the-world trip. He invites Mary to join him next time. And Anthony claims that his family owns a huge corporation, so he has never worked a day in his entire life. One of them is lying. Can you guess who? Richard. He stole a golden fork from the table and hid it in the pocket of his jacket. Why would he do that if he's rich?
Oh no.
Mary gets an emergency message from the kitchen. Someone ruined the wedding cake. She goes there and interrogates three suspects. The chef says, I left my workplace for 5 minutes to go to the toilet. When I left, everything was fine. When I returned, disaster. The cleaning lady says, I washed all the dishes in the kitchen. I had no time to even look at the cake. And the waiter says, I was dealing with one annoying guest, so I didn't pay attention to the cake. Sorry. Who's lying? The cleaning lady said she washed all the dishes, but there are still dirty dishes in the sink. Busted! Mary is searching for a perfect location to host the next wedding party. She finds 4 available options, but only one of them is a safe deal. Can you help her make the right choice? The first restaurant looks chic and fancy, but there are cockroaches on the ceiling. Ew. According to the info box, the second location will be built in the next century, but it looks pretty ancient, so it's probably a scam.
Oh.
The fourth restaurant is nice, but it has leaking pipes.
No.
Thus, Mary should choose the third option.
Yes.
Mary goes to see the location. She explores the basement and gets lost.
Oh my God.
Mary finds herself locked in a room without windows or ceiling.
Oh God.
The room starts filling up with water pretty fast. The walls are 15 feet above the floor. But Mary can't swim. There are 3 objects in this room. A wooden barrel that is 3 feet tall, a 4-foot high bike, and a 5-foot long rope. Mary is 6 feet tall. Can you help her find a way to survive? She should hold on to the barrel, as it'll float. When the water rises enough, she'll be able to climb over the wall.
Okay.
The landlord offers Mary a huge discount if she cracks his riddle. A rich house and a poor house are both on fire. In which house will the police fight the fire first? Mary nailed it right away. What about you? The police don't fight fires. The firefighters do. Mary's two besties send her selfies. They're both bragging about their new expensive dresses. One of them is broke, while the other one is a millionaire. Can you guess who is who? The second lady is broke. She has a Chanel logo on her clothes, but she didn't remove the price tag. So she probably just took this picture at the store and left without buying it.
Oh.
It's been a long day. Mary's finally heading home. Suddenly, she sees these guys on the way.
Oh.
Can you spot a rich guy among them? This guy has a car.
Sarah and Barbara are in grave danger. They've been locked up at a high-security prison for over a month. One day, a fire starts at the wing where they're located, and the guards flee the scene before helping them out. Take a look at these images. If you have any clue which one of them will get out of there alive, let us know. They both have it pretty rough, but Sarah, the woman on the left, is the one who will be able to escape. She can use one of the sticks from her hair to open the lock on her cell and run as fast as she can. Mandy and Sunny have pretty adventurous spirits. They love jumping off really high places with their skateboard and mountain bikes.
Yes!
One Saturday morning, Mandy went skating, and when she arrived at the jump, her board slipped on a banana peel. That same morning, Sunny went biking, and when she jumped, she noticed she was going to land on a dog.
No!
You gotta tell us which of these ladies is in an extremely life-threatening situation, and which one is just in for a scare. Drop your comment below. Mandy is probably just going to have an adrenaline peak with that banana peel in her way, but Sunny is in real danger. There's no way to predict how this dog is going to react. If it decides to attack her, she's in for a tough ride. Ben needed to get across a park in the middle of the night. That area was a dangerous place and lots of robberies happened there, but he went anyway. He walked fast until, out of nowhere, a hooded man came up to him and knocked him out. He woke up after a few hours and noticed all his belongings were gone. Ben went to the closest police station to file a report. When he got there, the police were interrogating 3 suspects, Cole, Jerry, and Bernard. They were all in the park that night. The detective gave each of them a marker and asked them to write their names on a whiteboard. As soon as they finished, he immediately arrested the right person. Can you figure out how on earth did the detective know who was guilty based on this random test? What's your 2 cents on this one? The test wasn't all that random after all. Ben was hit from the right side, so the police were trying to figure out who was left-handed. And among these 3 guys, the only left-handed one is Jerry. After a terrible day at work, Brian went on a movie date with Jane. As she walked towards him, he saw a woman snatch Jane's purse and disappear with it into the building of the movie theater. Jane didn't have time to see the woman's face, but she scratched the woman's arm with her long nails.
Oh no.
The couple walked into the cinema and immediately spotted Jane's bag. It was on a bench between two women. As they approached the bench, both suspects stood up and walked to the opposite sides of the room. Take a look at the crime scene. Don't let the thief get away with it. Can you figure out who the culprit is?
Hey.
Don't keep it to yourself. Let us know. Since Jane scratched the woman's arm, the thief should have a sore arm. The woman on the left was wearing long sleeves, so she probably wouldn't get hurt. The woman on the right is trying to hide a red scratch mark with her other hand. Yup, looks like she's the one who did it. On a moonless night, Emma decides to watch a horror movie before going to bed. She passes out on her couch, and the next thing she knows, she wakes up in a haunted castle. She hears screeching sounds all over the place and screams in the distance. She walks carefully to the kitchen where she finds 4 suspicious plates ready to be eaten. She's starving, so bad that her stomach is growling. Take a look at the plates. You know you'll only find peace again if you can help Emma figure out which one of these plates isn't dangerous. Take your best guess and let us know below. Take a look at the soup. There are a couple of human eyeballs in it, which is definitely a no-go. The steak is half rotten already, and there are real-life spiders crawling all over the burger. The pasta looks the least harmful out of these options. Betty and her younger sister were kidnapped by a town villain. They woke up in a dark basement filled with many corridors. The villain left them alone for a while, and they took that chance to try to find an exit. They ran all over the place until they realized they were running in circles. Suddenly, from each of the 3 directions, standing before them, a man appears. Each of them said they were kidnapped too, and they knew the way out. But your suspicion tells you that only one of them is telling the truth, while the other 2 are probably working for the villain and will take you back as a hostage. Stop everything you're doing now and help Betty and her sister decide which men they should trust. If you have an eye for detail, you probably noticed that the second man has bruises on his arms. He probably really did escape from the evil man. Betty and her sister should trust this dude and run away with his help. Daisy and Pam got late for work due to the snowstorm that hit their town. Their bosses told them if they were a second late, they would get fired. So both women decided to walk to work through the storm. Daisy decided to take a shortcut through the woods, and Pam decided she would cross the frozen lake. Daisy ran into a mother bear with her small cub, while the lake started to crack right under Pam's feet. If you're as good a detective as I think you are, can you guess which of these ladies is in grave danger? Do share your thoughts. Sure, Daisy is in a pickle, but she can stand her ground until the mother bear and her cub pass along, I hope.
Yes.
But Pam is in serious danger. The lake cracked with her weight, and if she walked any further, she'd probably fall straight into the freezing water. A robber is striking again. He is creeping into neighborhood houses in the middle of the night, taking very expensive items from people's houses. On the first night, he stole a refrigerator from Ronnie's house. And then, on the following night, he snuck into Brendan's house and stole his fancy table. He managed to sneak into Bruce's condo and stole a designer chair. The same night, he stole a microwave from Gunther's house. The robber is planning to rob Phoebe's house next. Do you think he's most likely to steal a mixer, a juicer, a TV set, or her bicycle? Quick, share with us your take before other bright side detectives figure it out. If you figured out the correct pattern, you know that the robber steals stuff according to their colors and the initials of a person's name. That's why he stole a red refrigerator from Ronnie and a gray microwave from Gunther. That means he's going to steal a purple mixer from Phoebe. Mike, Bob, and Percy were planning on proposing to their high school sweethearts at today's ball. They prepared everything, from the ring to the song that was going to play when the three of them popped the question. The night felt strange, and one of the guys was in extreme danger. Take a look at the couples. Jump in the comments with your guess of which one of them might lose their life if he proposes. It's Bob. Look at his partner's reflection on that mirror across the room. She's actually a witch disguised as Bob's girlfriend. He's in grave danger.
Jenny went to her favorite coffee shop and bought a latte. After she put her stuff and her coffee on the table, she went to the restroom to wash her hands. But when she came back, her latte was gone. There were only 3 other customers in the cafe. Can you help Jenny figure out who drank her coffee? This guy here has the same latte cup, but there are ice cubes in it. He must be drinking iced coffee. This lady's cup on the table is too small. She must be having an espresso. But check out this guy. Even though he doesn't have any drinks on the table, he has a coffee mustache on his face. And Jenny's empty latte cup is inside the trash behind his table. Kenny, the beach guard, spotted 3 people arguing on the beach. They were all claiming they had found a gold necklace in the sand. Tom said, "I found it with my metal detector." Lisa said, "I found it in the ocean while swimming." And Mike said, "I was digging in the sand to make a sandcastle, and that's when I found the necklace." Kenny knew only one of them was telling the truth. Who really found the necklace? Tom said he found the necklace with his metal detector, but it's turned off. Lisa said she found the necklace while swimming, but it's dry, unlike Lisa's swimsuit. So it couldn't have just come out of the water. That means Mike is telling the truth. Greg was taking a stroll in a busy park, but then he realized his wallet had disappeared. He remembered 3 people had bumped into him earlier, and one of them must have stolen his wallet. The police brought all 3 of them to the station. The first lady said, "It wasn't me. I have no pockets to hide the wallet." The second lady said, "I was only chasing after my dog." And the third guy said, "Look at my pockets. I have nothing in them." Who took the wallet? The third guy's pockets might be empty, all right, but take a closer look at the skateboard he's holding under his arm. This section of it is wrapped with duct tape, even though the skateboard doesn't look broken. And under the tape, hidden, there's something bulky. That must be Greg's wallet. Barney, the owner of the local gym, called Detective Espinoza and said someone had broken all the sports equipment before he arrived. When Detective Espinoza watched the security footage, he noticed that the vandal was still inside the gym and was last seen entering the dressing room stalls. Detective Espinoza immediately rushed there, but all 3 stalls were occupied. Can you help him find out who the criminal is? Take a look at the stall on the right. The small notice says it's out of order. Moreover, the lady inside it is either wearing underwear over her jeans or she just disguised herself in a hurry. So, the criminal is in the right stall. Bella went to the performance of a famous circus company. They were especially known for their skilled rope walker who never had any trouble during any of her performances. But right before she was about to step onto the rope, Bella shouted from the audience, "Stop the show!" Can you tell why? Take a look at the heels of the rope walker's shoes. The right shoe's heel is cracked. That could easily catch on the rope and cause her to slip no matter how talented she is. James had been saving money to buy himself a new motorcycle. He finally had enough to get the new model. When he headed to the store, he saw that there was a special offer. The helmet and other safety equipment would be free if he could answer this riddle. What kind of coat is always wet when you put it on? Can you help James get freebies? The answer is a coat of paint. James couldn't wait to drive his motorcycle back home. However, on his way, he made a wrong turn and ended up at an unknown crossroad. Which path should he take? The first path is all muddy, and that can make the bike slip. The second path looks like it's only covered with dried leaves. But if you take a closer look, you can see nails that can give James's motorcycle flat tires. So he should take the third path with the tiny pebble stones. After completing her yoga class, Aisha couldn't find her car keys. When she claimed it to the receptionist and asked for help, she said she saw 3 people near her locker. When Aisha questioned them, Rupert said he didn't even know how to drive. Lily said she was living within walking distance of the studio, so she wouldn't even need to drive. And Alan said he only had his own car keys. Can you tell who's lying? Look at the keys Alan is holding. He said those were his car keys, but the keychain has Aisha's name on it. He has her keys. As Amy was hiking in the forest, she reached a crossroad on the trail. When she searched for her bag to check the trail map, she noticed it was gone. And now she didn't know which path to take. Can you help her? The second path might look clear, but do you see the "Beware of Avalanche" sign under the leaves here? Seems like this won't be the safest option. As for the third path, take a look at these trees here. They all have bear claw markings on them, so she shouldn't choose that one either. But she can easily climb over the fallen tree blocking the first path and continue heading to the camp safely. Barry's boss loved games, and the only way to get a promotion in the company was if employees answered his riddles correctly. It was finally Barry's turn to have a meeting with him. When he entered the office, the boss said, "Tell me the answer and become a senior." A man and his boss have the same parents but are not siblings. How is this possible? He is self-employed. Ben and his girlfriend Jessica were enjoying the carnival in town. That's when Ben spotted the Find the Odd One Win the Prize notice on one of the booths. The prize was a pearl necklace, and he wanted to win it for Jessica. The owner of the booth said Ben needed to spot the different wind-up toys on 3 different shelves. The first shelf had little bear toys moving around. Can you help him find the different one? This little bear's face looks as if it's blinking, unlike the others. The second shelf was full of small wind-up robot toys this time. Which toy is different? This robot has a square nose, unlike the others with triangle noses. The last shelf has cute wind-up fairy toys. Which one is different? This fairy here has 3 wings. Detective Terry was chasing a robber who was running away across a crowded street. But just as he was closing in, a passerby momentarily blocked his view, and the robber vanished. At the end of the road, there were only 3 shops where the robber could be hiding. Take a look at the display windows of each one. Can you spot him? Look at the hung clothes on the shelf that can be seen from the second store's window. Can you spot a glimpse of the red sneakers matching those worn by the robber? He's hiding in there. Victoria was invited to a costume party at her office. When she arrived, she noticed that one of her colleagues might actually be a monster. Can you tell who? Take a look at the guy wearing a superhero costume. Both of the gloves he is wearing are left-hand ones.
Now, Bella and Ella are preparing for an epic party. Can you figure out who's not very smart? Even though Bella looks as if she's about to touch a hot iron, the device is actually unplugged, so she probably won't burn herself. Meanwhile, Ella is about to touch a heated waffle. Bella and Ella text their friend named Mike, who never answers any questions directly. They invite him to go to a party together. Mike's answer is kinda weird. Sorry, no money, job and job. Now, can you help the ladies crack Mike's message? Mike said he had no money because he was in between jobs. Bella and Ella arrive at the nightclub and see a huge line at the entrance. The local guard, Greg, checks people's ID cards. His task is not to let in suspicious people and folks under 21 years old. Here's the first guest's ID card. What do you think? Can you help Greg decide if he can let this visitor in? She seems fine. Let her in.
Yes!
Here's the next guest. What do you say? June 31, doesn't exist. There are only 30 days in June, so no entry, buddy.
Oh no!
Now what about this guy? Something's wrong with his birth date as well. There was no February 29 in 1977. That wasn't a leap year. And what about this lady's ID? Yep, she's good to go.
Okay.
Here's another candidate. What do you say? Well, he's 22, so he seems fine. Finally, Bella and Ella enter the club building, but they take a wrong turn and get lost. Finally, they enter an old-fashioned two-story hallway with a beautiful fountain in the middle of the room. That's when Bella and Ella realize that they are not alone. There are many ghosts here. Can you figure out the exact number? There are 7 ghosts in this space. One of the ghosts is hiding inside the fountain. And the lady over there is not a ghost. She's standing on her feet and she's sweating. So she's very much alive. The lady is the owner of the property. She says, "To get out of this place, you have to crack the following puzzle. Can you help Bella and Ella figure out what number is hiding under the question mark?" It's 1. 5 equals 1 because 1 equals 5. That was mentioned earlier in the equation. Bella and Ella are very hungry. Finally, they get to the party and see 2 tables with snacks. Although they look identical, there are 5 differences between them. Can you spot those details? Feel free to pause the video if you need more time. Here they are. Bella and Ella take a couple of selfies at the party. Can you spot 3 differences between these pictures? Ah, 1, 2, and 3. Bella goes to the dance floor, and Ella stays on the sofa. After a while, Bella returns and finds no Ella, only a creepy note on the sofa. "We have imprisoned your friend in the middle of this labyrinth. Go save her before it's too late." Bella approaches the labyrinth entrance. She's worried that once she walks in, she won't be able to find her way out.
Oh my god.
How can she escape the labyrinth without getting lost and wasting too much time? She should put her right hand on the right wall and go forward, touching it at all times. She'll be walking into traps along the way. But if Bella follows the right wall, she'll get out of traps and will eventually find her way out of the labyrinth. Let's take a look at this labyrinth from above. Can you help Bella find the correct path? Here's the only route leading to the final destination. Bella manages to find Ella in the center of the maze. Suddenly, a secret door opens, and a creepy voice announces, "You can use this elevator to leave, but first, you have to enter a 4-number passcode to turn it on." Can you help the ladies crack the code? Take a look at the 4 symbols on the elevator. It's a hint. Each image implies a number. The word crown consists of 5 words, so it implies 5. Necklace implies 8, ring 4, and diamond 7. And the code is 5847.
Oh.
Bella and Ella want to return to the party, but they face a guard who says, "You'll have to crack my riddle if you want to come in." What is that thing that you have to break before you can use it? The ladies crack this mystery right away. What about you? The correct answer is an A.
Yes!
Bella and Ella are walking down the corridor. They face a locked door. There are 5 buttons on the door, but only one of them will let Bella and Ella pass. If they choose the wrong one, the door will get blocked forever. Can you help them choose the correct button? There's something special about almost all these buttons. The first one is unlike the others because it doesn't have an outline. The second one has a different shape. The third one has a different color. And the last one is smaller than all the others. The fourth button doesn't have any distinctions. That's what makes it so special. So Bella and Ella should press this one. Yay! The party goes on. 3 guys approach Ella and invite her to the dance floor. But only one of them is safe to dance with. Can you decide who? The first guy has too many spikes on his clothes. He might accidentally scratch Ella. And the second guy is a sorcerer. He has a love potion in his pocket, so he can't be trusted either. Therefore, Ella should pick the third guy. Bella takes a picture of Ella on the dance floor. She freaks out right away.
Oh my god.
Why? There's a skeleton among the dancing people. Ella gets very thirsty after dancing and approaches a waiter. He offers her an infinite supply of free drinks if she can crack his riddle. I'll give you 1 glass of milk and 1 glass of water. You'll need to pour the 2 liquids into a bowl, but you should be able to separate the milk from the water later. You can't use any kind of dividers. It took Ella a while, but she cracked this riddle. What did she do? She poured all the water into a bowl and froze it. After that, she added the milk.
Oh.
Finally, Bella and Ella leave the party and enter a supermarket to grab some snacks. They see 2 ladies. One of them is married to their friend Mike. Can you guess who? It's the lady on the left. Her shopping cart contains shampoo for men's hair and beard. Bella, Ella, and their common friends, Nick, Nancy, and Adam, are hanging out at Mike's place. The next morning, they find Mike unconscious in the living room. None of the 5 friends know what happened to him. The police show up and they find a note next to Mike's calendar. It reads 4, 12, 8, and 3. The detective already knows who attacked Mike. What about you? It was Adam. The note was next to a calendar. 4 implies April, 12 implies December, 8 August, and 3 March. Take the first 3 letters of each month, and you get the name Adam. The next day, Bella and Ella go skydiving. Oh no, Bella's parachute hasn't opened, and she's now plunging toward the ground. There are 2 places where she can land. Bella can either fall into the lake or into this large haystack. Can you help her choose the best option? Bella should try to fall on the hay. Can you see those creepy crocodiles hiding near the lake? Bella manages to land safely. She meets Ella and they go camping. Unfortunately, Ella gets bitten by a snake, and Bella is trying to suck the venom out of her leg. Mike is also on the trip. Suddenly, he spots a black widow spider on his arm. Who's in a bigger danger, Bella or Mike? Bella. If she has any scratches in her mouth, the venom will get inside her bloodstream. As for Mike, black widows rarely bite people, and the bites are rarely fatal. My dear detective, today you'll have to deal with the Mafia. You're going to need all your thinking and analytical skills and the power of deduction. Concentrate and let's start. Look at these 2 couples. The one on the left is wearing outfits that must have cost them a pretty penny, and they're eating lobsters. If you look attentively, you can also spot a few scars on their faces. As for the other couple, the man and woman have similar tattoos on their necks and keep their bags in their laps under the table. Your task is to figure out which couple belongs to the Mafia. It's the couple on the right. Can you see several passports peeking out of their bags? They're probably hiding behind false identities and are ready to escape at any time. Accused of stealing some chickens from a farm, Jack was locked up in an empty cell in the local jail. His cell had a dirt floor and a small window overlooking distant hills. There was nothing inside except for a shovel. Jack was determined to break out and prove his innocence. Unfortunately, the window was too high to reach, and digging a tunnel was not a feasible option since the ground beneath the dirt was rock hard. Jack didn't have enough strength to dig through it, and still, he managed to escape. How did he do it? Jack used the shovel to make a pile of dirt, almost reaching the window. He then climbed the pile and got out of the cell. A woman named Kathy went to the police, claiming that someone had broken into her house and stolen her diamond bracelet while she had been at work. The police officers investigated the crime scene and noticed that the bedroom window was broken. There were muddy footprints all across the floor. Interestingly, the room was otherwise neat and organized. The following day, Kathy was arrested for fraud. Can you figure out why? Kathy was convicted of fraud because the bedroom window was broken from the inside. If someone had broken it from the outside, there would have been glass pieces on the bedroom floor. Also, the room was perfectly tidy when the police examined it. It can only mean that the so-called thief didn't need to search for jewelry since they knew exactly where it was. A detective, who was only days away from discovering the identity of a wanted gang boss, suddenly went missing. He left behind just one note with a few numbers. Currently, the police have 3 suspects. Their names are Bill, Lucky, and Greg. Can you crack this code and find the person responsible for the disappearance of the detective? It's Bill. If you turn the note upside down, it'll read, "Bill is boss." A man and a woman enter a crowded room. They see many people they've met before. The man and the woman enter the room separately, but only when one of them comes in, music is playing. One more person speaks to each of them for some time after the two are finally together in the room. The crowd remains quiet for the most part of the process. They look pretty happy. But when the man and the woman are about to leave the room, they see that the crowd is now outside waiting for them. As soon as they spot the man and the woman, they start shouting and throwing food at them. What's going on here, and why does the crowd behave this way? The answer is simple. The man and the woman are getting married, and the food thrown at them is rice. 5 people are sitting around a table playing Mafia. Among them, there are 2 innocent citizens, 2 mafiosos, and 1 detective. The Mafia people know each other. The detective knows who each of them is, and the innocent people have no information whatsoever about anyone at the table. During this particular game, the innocent citizens and the detective always tell the truth, while the Mafia people always lie. They start by making the following statements one by one. A. I know who B is. B. I know who the detective is. C. I know who B is. D. I know who E is. Can you figure out who is who? Let's try to crack this riddle step by step. Person A is making an I know statement, meaning that they're either a detective or a mafioso, not an innocent citizen. If they were the detective, they would know who B is, a mafia member or an innocent person. B could not be innocent because then they wouldn't know whether A was lying or telling the truth. So then B must be mafia. But if B were mafia, then they would know that A is the detective, and thus they wouldn't be able to say they know who the detective is because the mafia always lies. So then A must be a mafia member. Let's call them Mafia 1. Then A is lying and does not know who B is, which means B is either an innocent citizen or the detective. B makes an I know statement, so they must be the detective. Anyone could have figured this out, so now even the innocents know that A is a mafia member and B is the detective. Thus, C does know who B is, and since they're telling the truth, C must be innocent. Now we are left with one mafioso and one innocent citizen. D knows what they themselves are and thus knows what E is. Then the statement D makes is true, meaning D is also an innocent citizen, leaving E to be Mafia 2. So, A is Mafia, B is detective, C is innocent, D is innocent, E is Mafia. Look at this image very carefully. Can you crack the code the Mafia are looking for? A small hint, if you have such an option. Try to view this image on your smartphone. If you look at the picture directly, you won't see anything special. Now take a look at it on your phone, holding it flat and looking diagonally over your screen from the side of the microphone. You're likely to see the words, "The code is the outcome." If you turn your phone a quarter turn to the left, you will read, "from 5 times 5." So the answer to this riddle is 25. After a day of sunbathing in the garden, Sophia decides to go home. She walks through all the doors once and closes them behind her back. Look at the scheme of the house and try to figure out which room is her bedroom. Let's see. Sophia was in the garden and decided to go to bed. It means she was outside. She could, of course, start walking in several ways, and this is just one of them. So the girl entered room A on the left side of the house, then turned left, and immediately went outside again. Then she entered room C, went back to room A, and then proceeded to room B. After that, she came back into room C. Then she went on to E, H, G, E, D, G, and F. And there, she went out again. She walked around the house and then entered through the only door that was still open, namely, the door of room B. Now, all the doors are closed, and she can go to bed in room B. Well, how many people can you spot here? Six. 5 are looking at the paintings, and one person is hiding behind this picture. See their eyes? A man got kidnapped. He was placed in a room and told that if he managed to figure out the secret code, he would walk away unharmed. There was a plate with liquid poison, a matchbox with only one match, a glass, and a slice of lemon on the table. The code was written on the plate and covered with the poison. The man had to remove the poison to find out the answer. How could he do it if he wasn't allowed to touch or move the plate? That's what he had to do, and this is the code.